I lay on the bed. My body had become so weak, weakened to the point that my eyes could no longer open. I know I am about to die. My body has already been internally injured. Being lucky to live 5 years can be considered a miracle. But I am discontented. I am not contented to die like this. I have not given birth to him, a child for him and me. I know he likes children. It's a pity from being gravely injured years ago that such a small wish became distant, and cannot be achieved. Awake? He asked as he sat beside me. His rough fingers touched my face, gentle and warm, causing me to not refrain from tearing up. Why cry again? He sighed, gently wiping away the tears from the corners of my eyes. It's truly difficult to open one's eyes, relying on the sunlight outside of the window. I finally saw his face. His appearance is still like that, a handsome face, and deep and serene eyes. In the end, I cannot see clearly. The hand that was slightly raised was grabbed by him and pressed against his face. Sorry, my throat felt as if it was burned. The words I spoke I could not hear clearly. But I know that he heard clearly, and only pretended to not know. He turned his head and received the bowl brought by the servant. Quickly drink the medicine. The doctor said you have caught a cold. In 2 days you shall recover. He said as he bent down, raised my body, held onto the bowl of medicine and brought it to my mouth. He lied to me but also lied to himself. It's strange that in our hearts we understand. It just did not want to speak it out. At the bottom of the heart still holds onto a bit of hope as thin as mist. I heard and drank the entire bowl of medicine, and was brought by him to the bed. Rest well. He cushioned the blanket for my feet. I nodded. You are all so tired, go rest. He always likes to be clean. His body appearance is always organized and clean. But now, his clothes are wrinkled, and a beard grows fully on his chin. It's fine, staying by your side is good enough. He shook his head in refusal. You being like this, how can I be assured? Tears followed the corners of the eyes and fell. I am usually not difficult, but in the past few days, I have been weak like a child, even feeling contemptuous of myself. You are. The one who compromised was still him. He always spoiled me, and as long as I say, even if the request is unreasonable, in the end, he will still do it for me. He cushioned the blanket that was already airtight once more and kissed my forehead before he finally left. I gazed at his shadow that was leaving and shed yet again. But this time I did not let him notice, or else he would want to stay and not leave. The room darkened. Outside the door a figure of a person stands. I am too tired. My mind before was alert and now it has dispersed. I tiredly close my eyes and sink into absent-mindedness. You said, you want to bring me into her body. There was a female voice that seemed to vibrate beside me. Was this not the body that you've chosen? An elderly man's voice rang. Wanted wealth, a beautiful appearance, and is also young. But she is already married. That female seems to dislike something. Did you not say you wanted to enter ᎢℋᎪNቍ, wanted highly skilled martial arts? Behind there would be strong followers to help you collect consequences results. The elderly man continued to speak. That lady is not only the most beautiful maiden of the martial circle, she is also the master of Xiaoyao Palace, one sect with 10,000 followers. Even the emperor would give her 7 portions of the face. Furthermore, weren't you the one who wanted to marry the martial arts master? It's her husband. Aren't you satisfied with that man? Right, really is not bad. You look at me for what? Fine, I will speak the truth. He's great, cold and handsome, lovesick, and gentle. I looked to the point of gaping. Then so what? Thus have you confirmed it's this lady? The elderly man asked. Let's pick her then. Even though in her words there is a bit of reluctance, basically she cannot hide her excitement and satisfaction in her intonation. Hearing this much of their dialogue, I can already guess what it is. Reincarnating into someone else's body, borrowing my body, while the soul is hers. But how can I smile happily and satisfy them? I had no hesitation and opened my eyes. Suddenly I felt that my body relaxed, and can also lightly stood up. You temporarily separate from your body. The elder man seemed to understand my suspicion and explained. Hearing him say this, I then turned around to look at them. One elderly and one young. The elder man's appearance was kind and carried heavenly chi. But the girl, very young, her appearance is ordinary, she hides behind the elderly man, obviously is weak but thought she has a backing, her eyes peered at me with scrutiny. Her gaze caused me to disrelish. I who lived in ᎢℋᎪNN and built up fame for many years have not met someone who dares to give this type of gaze at me. Let alone, this girl, who doesn't know between the good and bad, would dare to scheme for my body, for my husband. You'll be damned. I coldly glance at her, accumulating my energy to charge her way, but I stop. I'm currently separated from my body. I do not have any force. For I cannot kill her. You have already died. She withdrew her neck, her body completely hidden behind the elder man, her small voice muttered lowly. Miss, the elder man opened his mouth and was about to speak to me about something, but I interrupted him. I know what you want to say. You want my physical body to let her revive from the grave. I spoke and saw that the other two people nodded, and my heart sneered. But on what basis? After finishing, I saw the other two people becoming shocked. What? The girl was alarmed. What is the reason that I will let you have my body? You have died. She with no brain loudly chimed in, but the elder man shifted his face and gave me no glance. It's true that I've died. In the lifetime of a human, who doesn't die, I have understood much at an earlier time and have already accepted it. But on what basis will I let you have my body? Even if you have died, leaving behind that body is pointless. Under my resentful gaze, she was scared and could not stop shaking. I am very satisfied because she really should be scared. Many years already, I have soon learned the method of making others obedient, and fearful of me. I died, I want to bring my body into the ground. That is my body. I have lived for more than 10 years, and have used the body for more than 10 years. What reason should I give it to you, based on what for you to reside inside my body, take away my husband's heart, command my subordinates, and enjoy the happiness that I have sacrificed everything to obtain? On what basis? Are you even worthy? I questioned furiously. My background is that of poverty, and ever since young, I have had no parents. At 5 years old I was sold to a brothel, and endured humiliation. When I was 12 years old I was rescued by a woman and became her disciple. I bit my teeth to continue, accepting every kind of torture and pain to succeed. I joined the ᎢℋᎪNN circle, have been insulted as a demoness by others, have been chased by others, and my reputation and integrity have been tarnished by others. I have exhaustingly used my strength to prove myself. I have exhaustingly made that cold man notice me, made him familiar with me within so many years, love me, and made him who was originally arrogant finally accept my existence in his daily activities, in his life. Yet at this time I unreasonably and uncomely gift everything to her. To someone who knows nothing, stupid, weak and talentless as her. What does she base it on? Is she even worthy? Every obstacle of mine did she ever endure such? Has she ever gone through my pain? Everything of mine, she has not yet seen, has not yet gone through. And so with just one sentence you have died, she can overtly receive everything of mine, replacing my human body, and contently accepts everything of mine. I am not satisfied, I cannot accept it. Even if everything was destroyed, I would not give it to her. Ah, why you must do this? The elderly man softly sighed and shook his head. You are a heavenly immortal, you have already known everything about me. Heavenly immortals in the heavenly realm are detached and cold towards all matters of the mortal world. Now, how can you commit such a cruel act like this? I know he understands me, I have known that he has seen through me earlier. I am discontented, I am discontented, Because of proving myself, I have tarnished my own body, and my whole life cannot marry. Because of saving my husband, I have been internally injured, each day I lived as a miracle. Like this to exchange everything, how can I unreasonably and uncomely gift everything to someone else? How can I? Contrary, after you die, that body is mine, she on the side whispered. She has already identified everything, despite being fearful of me, and arrogance overfilled her eyes. I will not agree. I did not look at her but at the elderly man. Hey, you, elderly man, have to solve this for me. I have died unintended because of you guys. You have told me that you will help me return from the grave. She took her hand, poked the elderly man's belt, and gave a proud look at me. The elderly man hesitates. Looked at me, looked at her. I don't care. You said you would let me choose. I chose her. She seems to see that the elderly man is hesitating, appearing to be more proud of herself. She slowly walks in my direction, and circles around me. Not bad, not bad. Is beautiful. Yeah, this body will soon be mine. Xiaoyao Palace? Ha ha, the best martial maiden, and also that martial art master. Rest assured, I will certainly take good care of him. When she mentioned my husband, her face grew red, seemingly like she was thinking of something great. Is she certain my husband will be hers? Such foolishness caused me to feel disgusted. I gazed at the stupid girl in front of me, murderous intent rose from my heart. Kill her. I raised my hand and used the fastest speed to choke her. My hand barely touched her neck, little strength was used and immediately saw her wailing in pain. It hurts. She squirmed. Elderly man, quickly come to help me. She deserves to die. I coldly glanced at the elderly man. Even if it's my soul flies and scatters away, I still want to kill such trash who overestimated one's strength. Lady this. With one sigh, white mist suffused, and in front of me was all white. Because of pain from the bones within my body, I have woken up. I knew this was the last time. I saw him sorrowfully look at me, and saw his eyes wet. He said men do not cry. He said he would not shed tears, even if faced with death. But, right now, he has cried because of me. Because I am about to go, because of me. This time. I am afraid I will truly leave you, my dear. I tragically wept. Drop by drop the tears fell, causing him to wipe yet cannot wipe it all away. You will be fine. His voice became shaky, his two hands embraced me. I wish you happiness, I still want to be by your side. But, truly sorry. I have not given birth to a child for you. I don't need a child, I just need you is enough. I only need you. Agree with me, you must live. I shook my head and laughed dryly. I always treasure promises. I have agreed to stay by his side for life so that he will not be lonely anymore. But this time, I am afraid that the promise will be broken. Hurry up and die. The joyous and delighted voice during calamity and disaster has traveled to my ears. My face shifted to the voice's direction and only saw one old one young standing not far from the bed's edge. She stared intently at my husband, a mesmerized face. I want to claw out her eyes, I want to kill her. I am discontented. Are you okay? Why did you suddenly become agitated? Don't be like this. He patted my back and wanted to help me lie down, but I stopped him. When I die, you immediately burn my body, I said as I faced him. No. He painfully shook his head. Burn my body, only when I stop breathing, you immediately incinerate me. I saw dread on her face. I saw that elderly man pull her. I suddenly became joyful when I saw them panicked. Let me become ashes within the wind, at your side, together with you. I grabbed his robe, to let him look carefully at my eyes, to see my resoluteness. I hoped for happiness for him, I hoped he could find someone he could love. But, I cannot forgive easily my body being stolen by someone else, I cannot forgive easily my love becoming replaced. It is mine, I will carry it into the grave, carry it into the coffin. I spitted out a mouthful of blood, it was like flames were inside my body, painful. Agree with me. I beg you, I know he is in pain, but I truly do not want that matter to happen. Okay, I agree, I promise you, in the end, he is the one that compromised, still yielding to me. I must go, if not soul will retrieve. Burn my body, cannot allow anyone to replace me. I leaned into his body and snuggled into his embrace. I satirically looked at her who was crazily yelling at me, and breathed out one last breath. When my soul separated, I was immediately grabbed to the side. I saw her laugh loudly in the direction of my body. I wanted to stop it but my entire self has been trapped. Must I see how she will replace me? No, I don't want to. I painfully looked at my body restoring its heartbeat. I saw a smiling expression appear on his gentle face. I saw that body jump into his embrace, and I saw them hug each other. I don't want to. I don't want to. Everything is mine, mine. What do you guys rely on for her to replace me? What did you guys reply? He began to struggle, and I accepted the pain from my resistance to the elderly man's spell to imprison me. I began to weaken, increasingly weaken. After that, I saw my husband push her away. Who are you? He coldly shouted. Saw she could no longer hold up and fell, filled with animus. I am. She is so stupid to the point that even my name she does not know yet wants to replace me. Her face was pale and immediately regained her senses. I lost my memories, she pitifully said. I only remember being on a bridge. After that, I drank a bowl of something. ⎢⎪NN soup. His brows furrowed. I saw her happy eyes, sneered and shook my head. Does she think he will believe that? He purposely said such a thing. His face, everything of his I know them very clearly. He is playing with her. Laughable, who after losing their memories, would then remember that one has crossed the river of oblivion. Lying like this who would believe? I will not, he will not, and besides her in this room, the people outside will not. Right, it's that soup. After, there was an immortal that said I should not die. Thus, I then came back. You are my husband. No, Lord, right. She weakly stood up and was about to jump into an embrace, yet he had dodged out of the way. You have said that you wanted to burn this body, wanted to become ashes next to me. He said. No. Of course not. No, I originally thought this way, but that was due to thinking that I was going to die. But right now I did not die, right? I did not die, thus, do not. But I have already promised. I have agreed with you to burn your body. Since you loved me, then become ashes with the wind, and be by my side. When he said those words, he did not look at her. He looks at every corner of the room, yet does not look at her. I knew he was speaking to me, he was speaking for me to hear. I promise, I nodded, utmost nodding, and joyfully cried. But you already like this body, then become ashes with this body as well. When he finished speaking, he brought all the servants to open the door and exited the room. No. Please stop. She took the risk as she banged against the door, but no one came to open the door. Everyone in the room, no one believed her. They knew that some unknown, demon-like creature had stolen my body. No one wanted to rescue her, no one. Elderly man. You quickly come to save me, quickly come save me. They want to kill me, they want to kill me. She could not see us, and so began to search in the room. She rummaged, but no one answered her. I lifted my head to look at the elderly man next to me. He still gives off a friendly appearance and a gentle gaze, and the corner of his mouth has a hint of a smile. But stood silently there, looked, took pity, yet did nothing. Afterwards, the fire was lit, and the room was burned. First the wood, the curtains, and then her. She wailed, screamed, cursed, swirled in craziness, and finally became silent. I saw that elderly man carried her soul away, and I've heard she is utterly unsatisfied. You said you would let me revive. I have already let you revive. But I died, burnt to death. What does that have to do with me? I have agreed to let you revive, you have revived. You wanted to choose the body, so I followed through. What I have promised you, I have already done all. Are you still not satisfied? I don't need it. I want to live. She began to cry, began to struggle. But black and white impermanence have come. They used an iron chain to chain her and dragged her away. I stared at them as they began to go farther away, and at that moment I was astonished as to why I was still there. Have you not agreed with him that you want to become ashes within the wind and stay by his side? The elderly man said to me. I lifted my head in surprise. In my heart, I thought of something, yet did not dare verify. Go with him. Until you are assured or he has died, we will come to take you away. The elderly man smiled, his appearance friendly like before. His smile warms my heart. Thank you, immortal. I lowered my head to bow and knelt. End of story.